Hello, this is Brian Bentley of CoinOpTV, bringing you gameplay footage from Of Orcs and Men, an action strategy stealth role-playing game. There are two characters you can play and switch between: Styx, the stealthy goblin I'm currently playing, and Archai, the massive orc used for brute force. As you move from plot point to plot point, you must traverse a series of corridors with sections for action sequences. You could take Archai and barrel into each sequence, but you'll soon find yourself overwhelmed. So in reality, each sequence starts with a puzzle-like aspect, where you must go around with Styx in stealth mode, as I'm doing now, and quietly eliminate as many enemies as possible before the major battle begins. Although Styx does move slower in this mode, he is almost invisible to humans, with dogs being the only adversary he cannot sneak up upon and assassinate. I do find it interesting that you can't, like when you're in the actual assassination sequence, you do pull out of stealth mode in order to make the kill, so that is why you must pick out your targets particularly so that other targets are not within their vision and in the friend's vision cone, so that they don't see you assassinate the enemy. Currently, I'm waiting for another victim to cross my path, as I'm quite a bit more careful and deliberate than my gameplay than probably most people you know. Now, being in stealth mode means that Archai stands by himself off to one side, which is beneficial since when you're not in stealth mode, he follows closely behind you. As you'll see when I go out of stealth mode, he starts running up to follow me. So a lot of the time, it's more like Resident Evil 4, where you leave the president's daughter somewhere in a dumpster and complete all you need to do before you move on. Now, I kind of get a bit lost right here, so you'll see I'm going to take a look at the map quite a bit. Anyway, this is footage from Chapter 4, where Styx and Archai travel to the Island of Laments, where they find themselves up against the fearsome warrior women, the Sisters of Laments. These warriors are probably the most difficult in the game, as even in the final chapter they just send more enemies after you rather than making them necessarily more difficult. So once I turn here, I'll actually figure out where I'm at, which is probably helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to sneak around. Now there's a group of 3 here with that one person walking on the left. So I'm going to head this way, and I'm going to run into, or well, not run into, but find one of the sisters with a dog. So since the dog can see me, I'm going to retreat into the corner. Basically, it's your typical, they have vision cones, and the dogs have more of a circle rather than a cone. So if you move close to them, they'll see you. I'm plenty far away at this point. You're going to find that I'm going to walk around this rock coming up, and I'm going to assassinate another sister. Now, as it takes more time, you're going to notice when you're playing that, so there's a sister across the path, but she's not looking at this individual, so you can easily slit their throat. And even the dog didn't see me, so there is quite a bit of leeway. I've actually done it where I've had to walk next to them and click assassinate, so I'm literally standing next to them, and then the game will slide me around them basically through a wall in order to make the kill. Now I'm going to try to sneak up and nab this one, and I'm going to assassinate her, but unfortunately I'm not without of the vision cone of the people who are standing close by. So now I've assassinated X number of people, so now there are a lot fewer enemies for Archai and I to fight. Now, you're going to be able to either press R1 or R2 to jump into one of these strategy modes, which will slow down, not stop, but slow down the actual system. So now, you can press triangle in order to switch from one character to the other. I jump back into Archai so that I can use sort of a rage and yell to provoke the other enemies to pull them off of Archai. Or pull them off of Styx, because basically Styx has less life, and now I'm healing myself in order to continue on. Once I got to a certain point, I liked the poisoning of my daggers, and then where I do like a quick dagger throw in order to eliminate my enemies as quickly as possible. Especially once you get to this point, you've gone down the path of either the Shadow Goblin or the Assassin. The Shadow Goblin, and especially I use this in the final chapter a lot, is there's like a health draining spell. I actually found myself playing Styx a lot more than I ever played Archai, just because although Archai has the stronger skills of fighting, I just found it was better to leave him in an offensive tank mode and then run around the outside, picking off enemies from the side. And even if one of the two of you fall in battle, you can go and rise them up during the battle, which is extremely helpful. Now I'm going to actually run myself into a bit of trouble right away, but it's 3 enemies, not really a big deal. Now, had I actually not tried to assassinate those other 4 people, imagine, this group, these 3, the 3 or 4 I fought before, and another 4, I would have been quickly overwhelmed. So right now I'm Archai just because I want to try to finish this up, and I'm using heavy attacks to eliminate these enemies quickly. Now I'm trying to use a rage. The damage plus 20 was me trying to use a rage ability to increase my damage output. Now I've finished with that section. I'm going to be moving on to the next section. Now you are going to be moving on to my review, which is on the blog site, or perhaps you're watching it right now. So stay tuned to CoinOpTV for more news and reviews, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page where you can find this and many other great gameplay videos.